What's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate Tour Reviews, checking out one of the Home Depots here in Orlando, seeing what's new today and looking for some new deals right now. We've a lot of similar deals happening right now. If you've seen any of the videos covering Home Depot or you've been in Home Depot recently, of course, you haven't really seen a lot of new stuff. I like to check clearance all the time was my big thing. I love looking at the clearance sections, eBay, stuff like that. Always love finding a deal. So we're checking the clearance section here too, if anything new. They have kind of shrunk at pretty much every store that I have been to for the most part. I've not really seen any new clearance happening. Really, that's been like notable. Pandemic, man, it was crazy. We had stuff all the time in clearance, just wild stuff. This DXL Tough system, the adults kind of pushing this, not really advertising it too much, but they're pushing it out there. It's kind of wildly expensive for what it is. But they have the Tough System 2.0, a few other little things like this as well too. I'm hoping that Home Depot kind of picks up more mechanics tools here in the future. It'd be nice to see a bit more mechanical side for like working on automobiles, things like that would be kind of nice. They're kind of getting into a little bit more like oil and stuff now, kind of near the jacks and stuff, which is awesome. Gloves I get asked on quite a bit. Was people ask me, hey, what do you think the best gloves are to pick up for kind of just general use? My 2 cents on this, and of course not sponsored or anything. I've used Firm Grip in the past, not been too happy with them really. They're kind of expensive. They do kind of fall apart quick. I've always liked the Milwaukee stuff, but not the Smart Swipe stuff. I like their cut level gloves a lot. I go for the 3s or the 1s. I use the 1s the most, and whenever these go on sale, the A1s here, they usually go on sale during the holiday times. I pick up just a ton of these, and I think they come in like 5 packs at a time, like 5 pairs in one pack, and I think it's like $15. They only have about 3 pairs. Like, what was that, $3 a pair there? So I usually pick up those. And then of course, if you want heavier duty gloves, I pick up the cut level 3s. And then in the plumbing section, I don't know if they still have this or not, but in the plumbing section, they have the Husky cut level 5s, which are absolutely awesome. They're cheap too. I think like $10 a piece. They do these from Milwaukee as well, the cut level 5s. So those actually hold up really, really well. But I'm not a fan of these. To me, these are gimmicky. I've used these in the past. I mean, $30, come on. And they don't really hold up much better than the cut level gloves anyways, in my opinion. So that's my 2 cents on there in gloves. Let's go check out the clearance section, see what we can find. All right, well, here is the clearance section. Not really much here for tools. They sometimes have a little tool clearance section by the tools there. I didn't see anything there. But we have the respirators here actually down to $1.50 each in the 10 packs at $15. That's actually not a bad deal up there for those. And what size are these? There's one size fits all on these, probably, but not a bad deal for N95 masks from Milwaukee. And that little valve in there too is nice. It keeps the the humidity down in those masks too. That's about it for all the tools here for clearance. But let's see if we can find any other deals here up front. Oh, while I'm walking up in front here, one thing I like to always look at is the mowers. Every single Home Depot is different when it comes to mowers. Home Depots are kind of adjusted, I think, by the store manager. I might be wrong on that one, but I've heard that each Home Depot is always adjusted for the market that they're in. So you're always going to see a ton of Revy mowers in here. We have the Milwaukee. Wait, they're coming down in price again, down to about $1,000. Weren't these like $1,200, I think, when they came out? And of course, everyone was complaining about the price on these. Then they dropped to $1,100, now down to $1,000. Of course, we have the DeWalt here for $729. That would have been a price, I think. That thing was, unless I'm talking about these. Actually, wow, there's actually a lot of DeWalts here now. And these are all DeWalt gas. Funny that that's not helping the electric versus gas argument here when they got their 3-in-1s are almost $200 cheaper than, of course, the electric mowers here. I mean, I've got 2 Makita electric mowers. Would I buy gas? Yeah, probably. I mean, they just go longer. It's kind of cheaper. Depending on the size of lawn you have, bigger yard, yeah, go gas. But if you got a smaller yard, and you're not really doing a whole lot, I'm using mine for mostly just like touch-ups in my yard now. And we've got a tractor that we use most of our mowing on anyways. Yeah, you can go, electric versus gas. It's just kind of depends on what you're doing with it. But when you got the cheaper gas mowers now, it kind of just makes sense at that point. And of course, here's that kind of front. I always called the gift center, kind of what they always refer to pretty much all year. Nothing really new up here, all the usual stuff. The usual Makita blower kit here, which is always the same price. String trimmer kits down to $200. Of course, a lot of our Revy stuff right now is we're going to find the best deals. Milwaukee stuff right now, again, it's all the same stuff, but they got the buy more, save more stuff. Basically, you're buying that, and then you'll save $150 instantly. So that's pretty standard stuff here. Nothing really crazy. Nothing I'd say, run out and pick this stuff up. You need it now. But if you want to pick up some new You know, like outdoor power tools from Milwaukee, that's a decent deal. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. So you have to buy the backpack blower, the mower kit. Jesus, $600 for two. Yeah, well, they are 12s, so that's not something there. Two 12s, and then you get the pack out charger. That's the rapid charger. I think it's 6-bay charger, and you're at like $1,600. But I mean, you're getting four 12s, so that's something. And then it comes down to $1,300. You get saved $300 there. So something, you know, but it's like, man, I just go, in my opinion, I'd almost just go gas for spending $1,300 on a mower kit and four 12-amp hour batteries. My 2 cents on that, you know, but it's pricey. It's still pricey, even on a sale there. So it's good stuff, but pricey. We have the Yarbo stuff here. Let's see here, on sale for $400. Not a bad deal. And I think you get the big 6-amp hour batteries with that as well too, and that's self-propelled as well too. That's not a bad price for a self-propelled mower with batteries and charger. Not a bad deal there at all. All the usual Yarbo string trimmer stuff. That's actually a great deal for the what is it, the 40-volt stuff? $160. Not bad there at all. I guess I haven't really seen too much is any more rigid deals. I'm actually kind of surprised. A couple of deals mentioned here. A couple of things have sold out already. 140 down to 70 for the sheet sanders. What do we got over here? Starter kits. That's actually not a deal. $99 there for a 2-hour battery. Of course, we got the Makita stuff here. Ooh, Makita's down a little bit more, now $40 off. But again, though, that's not even the current model. That's the, pretty sure that's the older drill. That's the XPH14. That's the XDT. Looks like the 16. I don't think that's the 19. But they came with, there's new models with both these tools out already, so it's kind of a deal. It is what it is, kind of a deal at that point. But not a bad deal to jump into Makita if you wanted to. So there's that deal there. And then this deal's only $20 off. It's like, come on, Makita, you could drop that down to like $189. That'd be actually a reasonable deal. This is the XPH12, which is one of my favorite drills of all time. Phenomenal hammer drill in there. And of course, I think that's the XDT. Is it the 13 or the 14 in there? But really solid impact. You can find those online all the time. Super cheap. Absolute workhorse of an impact there. And of course, plenty of Milwaukee here. I mean, not really any deals, but they got plenty of Milwaukee. And of course, you walk down one of the tool aisles, there is a ton of Milwaukee, and way more Milwaukee on a lot of these aisles now than you're going to find anywhere else. Ooh, check this out. 12-pack of the Ink Saw markers for $10.97. Less than $1 a marker. Those are great markers, by the way. And of course, yeah, tons of Milwaukee stuff out here. I'm into Milwaukee a little bit here and there. I've had a lot of issues with Milwaukee tools in the past. You guys wonder why I don't cover the tools too much. I went through M12 stuff with batteries dying, tools dying. When I started my own company back in 2019, I went all Milwaukee right away, and man, I got to know my Milwaukee Service Center really well. I was there like every month with a battery or a tool that was dying, having issues, and that's just why I don't have a lot of Milwaukee today, is because it just wasn't as reliable as other brands that I found. I'm hard on a lot of my tools, and I take care of them. I try to keep them clean up as best as possible. But that's kind of just what happened with me, was why I don't have too much Milwaukee stuff anymore. I went all Makita, and I have had like 3 RMAs in the last couple of years from Makita. So if you guys are wondering, that's why. But Milwaukee does make some good stuff. They got the new sheet sander out here. I'd really like to try some of their impacts. They get a really good reviews on all these impacts, are really good here. And are they changing stuff around? It looks like here. Gotta be moving some stuff around here because there's a lot of missing spots right now. You can find some deals. This deal is actually I found this at Home Depot out in Orlando as well. Down from $480 to $360. Impact, 2 batteries, both fuel tools. I think it's a 3/8 inch. Yeah, 3/8 inch impact there. And of course, a fuel grinder. So fantastic deal. Full stock here. We've got at least 3 of them back there. So lots of stock there. Here's all of our rigid stuff. Again, it hasn't changed much from rigid. Haven't heard anything new on rigid. Makita, not too much new there. I don't know if Milwaukee has a new pipeline or anything coming out anytime soon here with lots of new stuff, but we'll find out soon enough here as we get into summer. They usually kind of have at least one in the summer. But guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Stay safe out there.